Great. Well, thank you and good morning indeed. Allow me to welcome you to Mumbai and this 11th conference of the UN Global Compact CEO Water Mandate. I'm Gavin Power, Deputy Director of the UN Global Compact, and it's a great honor to welcome you here today on behalf of the United Nations and our partner organizations. For several years, we've been discussing bringing the CEO Water Mandate and our work to India, especially given India's geopolitical importance and also the very real water and sanitation challenges the country faces. So we are thrilled to be in India finally at last. This conference, I should add, also takes place against a very significant backdrop. As many of you know, the UN has begun a process known as the Post-2015 Development Agenda, designed to identify development objectives and priorities to replace the Millennium Development Goals when they expire in 2015. This process, which got a real boost at Rio Plus 20, involved global consultations with multiple stakeholder groups, including the private sector and business, and could indeed result in the formulation of a new set of sustainable development goals, understanding the MDGs are very much alive and need continued focus and attention. The UN has identified 11 thematic areas meant to encompass the three pillars of sustainable development: economic, environmental, and societal. And as you can see, one of the pillars is in fact water, with three sub-focus areas: WASH, water resource management, and wastewater and water quality. And stepping back for a moment, and you can see the wide range of critical issues that these 11 themes capture. Our session today is actually considered one of the formal consultations in relation to this process, and even now is being live streamed to the UN's website devoted to water consultations. Our moderator, Rob Greenwood, will provide more information in just a bit around the protocol of the webcast. And my colleague, Jose Canuto from UNICEF, will later give you a larger overview of the whole post-2015 process and agenda. Now, I should add as well that the Global Compact and the CEO Water Mandate are also providing input to the post-2015 process via the Secretary General's related high-level panel, as well as directly to the Secretary General in a special Global Compact contribution, which is also under development. And today's session will feed into this process and report as well. The point is that what happens here today really matters in relation to this broad UN process. So we hope to generate some exciting and important contributions today in relation to the potential business contribution of this entire agenda. So with this as background, perhaps just a brief overview of the CEO Water Mandate for those that are perhaps new to the initiative. The overall purpose and objective of the mandate is to positively engage the international business community in relation to global water challenges. It's only recently that the private sector has really begun to understand the extent to which they use water either directly in their operations or via their supply chains, which encompass both industrial processes and, of course, agriculture and food production, where the majority of water is used. The mandate was officially launched by the UN Secretary General in July 2007 as a public-private initiative and program. It's overseen and implemented by the UN Global Compact in partnership with the Pacific Institute, which serves both a technical expertise and secretariat function. It is squarely a multi-stakeholder process, bringing companies together with civil society, governments, the UN, and other interests, but the real focus is on corporate change and corporate behavior and corporate action. The mandate asks companies at the CEO level to commit to 6 broad areas listed here, from direct operations, supply chain, collective action, public policy, community engagement, and transparency, and to actively and transparently pursue related policies and practices. The mandate also represents, a call to action to business leaders everywhere to make corporate water stewardship, as we define it, a top priority. Since launch in 2007, the mandate has grown from just 5 endorsing companies to 100 representing a range of geographies and economic sectors. It's also pursued a very active program over the years, including semi-annual multi-stakeholder conferences like this one, as well as the development and release of a range of resources, policy papers, tools, and guidance. I obviously won't take you through this rather complex graphic, but just to give you a sense of the activities and undertakings of the mandate and its evolution since launch in 2007. Just a quick look at the diversity of the business sectors represented in the CEO Water Mandate, from apparel to construction to mining and metals and water technologies. So we're quite pleased with the diversity in terms of sectors and industries represented. And as an initiative, the mandate has pursued a policy of hyper-transparency, given the sensitivities around the water issue. And this really takes two distinct forms. The first pertains to the mandate as an initiative. And this includes the multi-stakeholder public sessions, as well as publishing all documents and all governance discussions on the public website. The second pertains to the endorsers themselves, who are required to annually disclose their progress in implementing the 6 elements of the mandate. And these reports are posted on the mandate's public website. If a company fails to produce this annual disclosure, it is warned and then ultimately expelled from the program, through a public release, I should add, in line with the general Global Compact disclosure policy. Finally, in addition to the 6 core areas, the mandate has focused much of its work on 3 additional and related priority topics: water and human rights, water disclosure, and water and collective action. Each of these have associated working groups and deliverables. In relation to collective action in particular, this is one of the real themes of this week's conference. The mandate recently launched its Global Water Action Hub, which is the first global online matchmaking platform to bring companies together with NGOs, governments, and other interests on projects within specific river basins and watersheds. And we think this platform could hold a lot of potential in terms of the implementation architecture vis-a-vis the Post-2015 development agenda in relation to water and the corporate contribution to water. Pardon me, slides are a bit tricky this morning. There we go. So with this as a very broad general overview, allow me to please thank our event sponsor, Tata Steel, one of the most engaged companies in CEO Water Mandate, and as well our supporting partners, HCC, the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Institute of Management Studies, hosting us here today, and the Global Compact Network in India, one of our most vibrant and active Global Compact country chapters. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. A.M. Mishra from Tata Steel. Mr. Mishra, please, the floor is yours.